Unmute. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Zine Team stream, Homebrewed, Episode 7, Strangers in the Mist. Last time, the party dealt with some wrap-up from that comet thing. They left their robot friend Gloom in his little hut. They got on the road. They encountered some very bad dogs who tried to eat them, except they had found and slept near some wolfsbane, which kept the bad dogs at bay. Granny talked to them to find out they were hungry. I'm sure it's fine. It's all good. They went on to the town of Harmonia, where they met their contact, Chava's friend? Lee acquaintance, Lady Acriel, and they were given A+ service, 5 out of 5 stars, local guide. Yeah, what? She's gonna spit in your drink now.
Joke's on her, I didn't order anything.
So, you guys finish up your drinks, shake hands. Lady Acriel says that she would like you to meet her in the city of Scald.
Okay.
Or town. It's a town. It's not much bigger than Harmonia. But she'll kind of send you on your way. You guys head onto the road following the directions that she had given you.
Okay, I will give her kind of a loaded look and kind of mouth, be careful.
And
as she mentions going back to Scald.
She'll kind of, bow her head and kind of, if she were wearing a hat, she would doff it, but kind of that move. And kind of shoots a look back at you like, I will, you too.
Okay.
And you guys head back onto the road. She says it's about a 2-3 day walk. You get Gary. Back out. You pass the guard who's accosting someone else, asking if they are friend or foe. And it's all good. You guys following the path, and you get to kind of this very worn down looking farmhouse. If someone lives here, they're not taking very good care of it. And can I get perception checks from everyone, please?
Oh boy.
Seventeen.
17.
Also 18.
That is a 6. I am far too concerned whether or not someone actually owns this house, and if so, whether or not I can take it.
Where are you?
Ankh will not be satisfied until he is the Dread Realm of, or the Dread Lord of Gardoth.
Maybe.
Okay. The two of you, the three of you, Dranny, you got like a 15?
15, yes.
Everyone but Ankh. Ankh's scoping out this house. He's like, is this a flip it or fix it situation? What can I do here? It's got good bones. I've been told to look for bones.
And if I get the house, it comes with the land. Can I just buy the house, get the land, and then build a new house? Just demolish that one? Like, I have options here.
Yeah. The four others of you start to hear a sound drifting through the air. You would describe it as singing. And kind of just very, very melancholy. You start to hear over the kind of it becoming more and more clear as you step a little closer to the farmhouse, and they are singing. So you think you can tell, Heaven from hell. Blue skies from pain. Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail? A smile from a veil. Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts? Hot ashes for trees. Hot air for a cooler breeze. Cold comfort for change. And then just kind of breaks into just pure sobbing.
Oh!
Fun
Barry
times.
will sneak up on the source of this.
I will be trying to find the key.
Yeah, play along. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on, keep going. Let's sobbing.
Come on.
Sassy's like immediately tearing up just listening to it. Like,
Okay. Barry, as you kind of poke your head around a shrub row, you see a what you would describe as a middle-aged kind of countrywoman. She's, wearing very stereotypical farmer wife's clothes. And she is kneeling beside a grave that looks freshly dug with a wooden kind of gravestone or grave marker. And she is just sitting on her knees, kind of sobbing, leaning on the grave marker.
I'm gonna prestidigitation a flower, probably a rose, and walk over and place it on the grave.
As you get closer, you kind of see she's kind of picking up the dirt from the ground and kind of smearing it all over her. What was once a white apron is now just covered in mud. And
she's not.
Doesn't really seem to notice you. She's just kind of sobbing right up until you get next to her, and she'll kind of look up, tears streaming from her eyes, and she'll ask, "Oh, did you know Joshua?"
No, I just thought. You okay? You're not okay, are you?
No.
Would you like a hug?
Okay.
I'm gonna hug her.
Okay.
She's like, there.
She kind of doesn't really get up, so it's a really awkward.
No,
kneeling hug.
I get down to her.
Kneeling hugs are never. They're still never good.
Well, yeah, but it would be weirder if she was like. I was standing and I was just like, there.
And she will just kind of continue to sob.
It's okay. It's all right. Do you want to talk about it?
She won't. She will say.
It's all right. You're gonna be okay.
Sorry, pardon me.
Bless you.
Thank you. She says, 2 weeks ago, my husband was hurt.
Oh.
And he couldn't keep the farm going, so Joshua took it upon himself to keep the farm going. But he was too young. He was out after dark, and you don't stay out after dark.
Oh, I'm so terribly sorry. He seemed like he was a good person.
He was a good boy. And she'll just start
Very good.
sobbing
yeah,
again.
It's okay. Let it out. It's gonna be all right.
Was the fate of the husband mentioned? He fell ill or injured, but he did not.
She didn't say he died. She said
Okay, and there's only one grave.
Yes.
Okay. Now, where is your husband now, Mother?
She'll point to the kind of dilapidated farmhouse and say, he hasn't left the foyer. He can't walk.
Oh.
We're very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, I assume as she's like, maybe not fully regaining composure, but like, not hugging me anymore, maybe. I'm gonna prestidigitation another flower and then put that in, like, tuck it behind your ear.
Okay.
Like, it'll be okay. Life goes on.
She says, I'll never forget. No. Would you like to meet my husband?
Sure. We'll take you back to him.
Yes.
Maybe that's a good idea.
Where are my manners? Would you like to stay for tea?
Tea would be lovely. You seem like you would need some too.
Now, I don't want you to trouble yourself on our account. You've clearly got plenty of things to tend to.
Yes. We do not need your hospitality if you need your own time.
Barry looks at the goblin who's raising his hand and is like, what?
Miss,
You got
what's
a
your
shot?
name?
Oh,
Oh, good one.
terribly sorry. So rude. My name is Maria.
What a lovely name. That didn't sound condescending, did it?
Well, it's
your-
very nice to meet you, Maria. I am real sorry that it couldn't be under happier circumstances.
Hmm.
And your husband's name?
Is Antosh.
Ooh, fancy.
I will take off my crown of flowers and put it on the gravestone.
Okay.
She'll kind of do that thing where she kind of like puts her hand on all the flowers and then kind of gets up, brushes her hands, and kind of takes a second to compose herself, and then she says, it would be rude not to offer tea. And she'll kind of gesture towards the house and start to walk towards it.
Barry's gonna like help her towards the house. Not like carry her or anything, but like just walk with her. Though when you took your crown of flowers off, Barry looked really disheartened. Like, oh, she didn't like him.
It is too late, but it might keep the dogs away.
Oh.
Okay. You kind of, she creaks open the door, and you see in a big overstuffed chair, standing at a fire, is an older man, kind of big mutton chops into a mustache, like a Chester A. Arthur kind of situation. Big white hair, kind of just staring at the fire, and a young boy, maybe 6, and then a girl, maybe 10, are kind of playing in front of the fire with like a little toy soldier and some dolls, and kind of they're both kind of clashing the soldiers and the dolls together. And she kind of gestures to the sitting room, and there's a couch and kind of a couple other big overstuffed chairs. And she says, please make yourselves at home. I'm sorry, I didn't get any of your names.
Oh, no, it's absolutely fine. My name's Barry, and these are my buddies. We've got Granny. We've got
Granny has actually lingered by the grave for a little bit, so she's not inside.
Okay. Granny's outside.
We've got Ankle Biter. We've got Sassy. We've got Chava.
Chava.
Yeah. I was so good. And I got Granny, and I look up and I'm like, oh, maybe we don't have Granny. Where's Granny?
It's all right. Barry, I think she's gonna be along just a little bit.
Okay. Anyway, don't worry your pretty little head, Maria. You sit down. I'm gonna go make tea for you, if you'd like.
She says, no, I can't be a terrible host, no. And she'll kind of...
Well, I will certainly help.
I will take some help. But
Cool.
she'll kind of point to the boy and the girl, and she'll say, Frontosh, Jelena, go wash. And they'll kind of throw their toys down and kind of run off outside to the well.
I mean, I could... Oh, okay.
And she says, if they don't learn to do it now, good habits and all that. And she'll head into the kitchen
Very
and start
true.
tending to a fire to make some tea.
I will assist with the fire.
Okay.
And kettling and tea and stuff.
Did the children rush out the front door, or is there another door exiting this?
They went out the front door.
Okay.
But as you had approached the farmhouse, you could see there was a back door and kind of a cellar door as well.
Okay. I would just like to stand at the entrance, keeping my eye on them at the well.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
It's mid-afternoon, mid to late afternoon.
Okay. I'll do it just the same, but it might be overcautious.
Okay. Granny, is there anything you would like to do outside, or are you just standing out there?
She is mostly just standing there, staring at the grave, like very intensely. But it's almost like she's looking past it. You can tell she's very deep in thought. And maybe after a few minutes pass, she'll reach into her pack and like throw a candy onto the grave.
I'm not crying you off.
Inside, would anyone like to do anything else?
So, I think Sassy would sort of like, as they're busying themselves making tea, Maria is making tea with Barry. I think she would just sort of like awkwardly shovel over to Antosh and sort of stand in front of him so that he can see her clearly, and then do a very deep bow and say, thank you so much for allowing us into your home. I'm very humbled by your hospitality in this trying time, and I am very sorry for your loss. My name is Sassy.
He'll kind of gesture at himself and say, Antosh, a pleasure. Please sit.
She says, wherever it was he indicated.
Yeah, there's kind of like another overstuffed chair, kind of also facing the fire. That's probably Mother's, like, you know, they sit there and stare at the fire. He says, what brings you around?
We're just in the area doing some work for friends of ours.
Good. It's good to keep busy. I hope Maria was not too much of a bother.
No, not at all. We're quite pleased to make both of y'all's acquaintance.
It's nice to have guests. They are infrequent.
Yeah, you guys are a bit of a ways off the beaten path.
Yes, not much cause for travelers through these parts. Well, I hope you will stay for tea and enjoy, and don't let our circumstances ruin the pleasant evening. And you kind of look outside, and it's just miserable as shit out there. Like, the mist just won't stop. It even started to rain on top of the mist, and you're like, well, that should kill it. It's not. It's making the mist worse.
So England.
She kind of clears her throat, and she's fidgeting with her hands, like she looks real nervous and kind of flighty. And she's like, I thank you, and I'm not too good with this sort of thing. I don't have a lot of experience, but if there's anything we can do for y'all, just let me know, and I'll see what we can do.
Thank you, but there's no justice for my boy. It's...
Do you want to talk about what happened to him?
He was a damn fool, and his mother told him not to go out after dark.
And why didn't he listen? Do you know? I don't mean to pry, but sometimes the telling makes everything just a little less awful.
Because he thought he was brave enough to show his worth. And he'll kind of start to tear up and mutter something like, damn boy was worthy, loved him the same, and kind of start to stare back into the fire again.
Granny will wander in at this point.
Okay.
I'll make way. Are the children dicking around, or are they getting to it?
They were...
I mean, they're kids. So.
There was... They're always sticky. It doesn't matter how, so it takes a long time to clean them. But they kind of, run around the well probably once or twice, but then they start to wash themselves and kind of head back inside.
All right, I'll give like a shrill, like, hurry up whistle and a flute. And the whole time Sassy was interacting with Antosh, I had that kind of one ear, like, back in the room. I don't have to look. Just want to absorb some of it.
Okay.
But yeah, and I'll kind of shrill whistle to get their attention back to the house, and then kind of play them in, like, try and make a race or a game of it.
I love Harvey.
And they'll kind of run around you probably 2 or 3 times, and then kind of back inside. And Antosh will kind of turn to address all of you and say, it's not safe at night. How much further do you have to travel?
Oh, wait, am I still in the kitchen?
It is kind of a big country house, so you can... He is saying it loud enough that you can all hear it.
Alright. Barry will just yell for the... Oh, don't worry about it. I got some good flowers. They're very good. And we're magic now. I'm magic. I know magic. I got flowers. We're fine. She's still making tea. Also, she is amazing at making tea. She's doing like the thing where you have a kettle and you go like, "Fwee," to be showing.
Okay.
About 2.5 days, sir.
And he'll say, you're more than welcome to stay the night if it would ease your travels.
It is very gracious. Thank you.
Barry will yell from the other room, "Oh, that's far too kind, but thank you."
Who is closest to me? Is Granny just inside the door, or have you entered all the way in?
I'm probably still kind of lingering by the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will kind of just aside to you that we can make several more hours this day, but the temptation to sleep indoors is obvious.
Well, either way, we're protected from wolves. We've got the wolf's bane, or we stay here and remain indoors and not get eaten by them.
Kind of look over my shoulder back at the grave. Yes, we do.
Well, Chava, is this mission urgent? Do we need to get there as soon as possible?
It is possibly my way home. I feel very urgent about it, but I'd say let's take their hospitality. They might be able to use the distraction, but I would have us back on the road if everyone else is amenable.
Well, let's take tea then. and be on our way.
Is the tea ready?
The tea is ready.
Barry comes through with the tray and is just like, tea! And is beaming.
Granny will walk over to the husband. What was his name again?
Antosh.
And
Antosh. Okay, cool. She'll introduce herself to him. Be like, you can call me Granny. We won't be able to stay the night. We have to. We have places to be, and some of us would like to be there as soon as possible. But we thank you for your hospitality and for the tea, and we'll stay for as long as then.
Of course, I understand. Well, if you're ever in these parts, know you are welcome here. And kind of, Maria will hand him a teacup, and he'll start to sip at it. The kids get little cups of tea, and everybody else has tea and biscuits. And yeah, it's certainly tea and biscuits. Tea's pretty good. Biscuits are but
Granny will kind of mutter under her breath, like, well, if all goes according to plan, we hope to not be back here. But, like, out of earshot.
Sure, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, take the tea, make sure to politely nod at the hosts for their hospitality.
Barry eats, like, a nibble of one of the biscuits and is like, oh. And kind of puts it on the floor for Neffy in her cat form to nibble on.
What is this garbage?
She prestidigitations it to taste nice.
I still know what that is. No, thank you.
Fine, you ungrateful little... And Barry eats it instead.
And while we're drinking the tea, I think Sassy takes off the flower crown and she sort of breaks it apart and makes two smaller crowns and gives one to each of the little kids.
Okay.
It's like, now, y'all promise me you'll wear these every time you go outside, okay?
And they kind of shove each other and start running around in circles again.
Barry's also... I don't remember if Barry made herself a crown, but I'm going to assume that everybody has a crown.
Everyone has a crown, yes.
And she's going to take two of the flowers out of her crown and give one to Chava and give one to Sassy.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, cool. Everyone drinks their tea. There's idle chit-chat about the weather, all that.
It's definitely weather.
What can you do?
Same weather
it's
it's always been.
How's the mist today? Very misty.
There's a 100% chance of mist.
There's some of that, like, heavier falling mist, too.
So while we're chit-chatting with them, Sassy, I'd like to know, you were singing a real sad but real pretty song when we walked up. Where'd you learn that song?
She says, oh, in my youth, I attended the Bard's College in Harmonia. I was quite good if I don't brag.
I would definitely agree with that.
Barry's like, so you're into prog rock? Is it prog rock? I think it's prog. Cool. It's like prog pop. Like prog something. And she like goes into a debate internally about what prog even means. And what defines music.
It was a lovely song, Mother.
Thank you.
None should have to do what you did.
So are you originally from Harmonia?
Yes.
Is that where you are able to sell your wares? Or do you only support the family?
On good harvests, we can take some to Harmonia, but for the most part, we support ourselves.
So what do you grow?
Well, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
What kind of this and what kind of that?
Potatoes,
Okay.
carrots. We have
Very good.
a couple pigs.
Staple. The
Um,
piggies are just for cuddles, right?
Say yes.
the children love them.
Good.
Um,
They're milk pigs, right?
yeah, for sure. It's a thing.
I just lost 2 HP from that idea. Taking psychic damage.
Yeah,
um,
they're egg and dairy
Yeah.
pigs, right?
she says a couple chickens, that sort of thing. Tomatoes.
The chickens,
The
are,
chickens
just
are
for the
also
eggs,
for
right?
milk.
Yes.
Eggs and you crack it open, it's just milk. Oh, it's like the medieval version of the little pots of creamer that you get when you go for a coffee and you get a little pot thing. Instead, it's like a little egg and you crack it open and you have your little non-dairy creamer.
This is not how we expected this to go, is
No.
Seldom is.
Sorry, I'll
Episode is now retitled "The Dairy Pigs."
it? And the dairy chickens.
The pigs are for cuddles, right? you
Just like
you
So
run
if
like a
you-
petting zoo.
If you're originally from Harmonia, what brings y'all so far out here off the beaten path? Why'd you move so far away from the town? It seemed real safe back there up in those walls.
She starts to say something, and you can see like Antaj kind of looks at her, and she just says, "I sometimes you just want that good country air. Am I right?
Ready to lead over to Chava.
Green
and be like-
Acres, it's the place to be."
be
Yeah.
like,
Banjo music comes from nowhere.
No, that's me. Sorry.
Bastard.
"You're
Farm
ready to
living
lead
is the
over-"
life for me. Yeah, we can do this.
Yeah, Grady will lead over to Chava and be like, something's up with these people. You see it too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a feeling something is up with all of these people, though. So
You're
I,
talking
like-
about the milk pig thing.
That's not okay.
I've ruined D&D, you guys.
it's super weird. Yeah.
So it probably would have been better, a few minutes ago, but can I, survival check or something the tea we just drank?
Oh, sure.
Oh
What
no!
are you trying to do?
Just like,
Determine poison?
yeah.
Yeah, you can make a survival or nature check.
Oh
Been
shit,
drugged.
wait.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
do survival. I'm good at that.
Oh, I
Potassium
hope it's not
cyanide tastes like
Wolfsbane.
almonds. Just FYI.
Oh yeah, it's delicious. It puts you to sleep before it kills you.
This
This
is
is
21 for
This is
survival.
wonderful almond tea, by the way. Thank you.
I was thinking it, and I was like, no, I'm just being too D&D
Um,
suspicious. I'll just drink the tea. It's fine.
You are being D&D suspicious. It's fine.
Okay.
Are you sure they haven't made Wolfsbane tea and it's fine for them, but we don't consume poison on a regular basis?
You guys aren't
So no-
wolves, so
No, the Wolfsbane's poisonous, isn't it?
to wolves.
Yeah, I think you'll get sick if you
Yeah.
probably drank a
They-
tea of it, but
They make it into that liquor. Yes?
No, they make the
The
berries
berries?
instead.
The
of
berries,
liquor.
yeah, okay.
mhm.
So you aren't poisoned by tea.
Okay.
Well,
Just
not this
checking.
tea.
I think I'm thinking of
Yeah.
hemlock.
Yeah.
Hemlock is for sure poisonous.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's very poisonous.
Well, I would just, to finish that aside, I will murmur back to Granny. I have a feeling she had bigger dreams and aspirations, and he insisted that they start a farm in the country. I'm hoping it's only as insidious as that.
I don't know. It's never just that, is it?
You are my wife. Goodbye, city life. I mean, that's how the song ends. I mean, it's misogynistic, but what are you going to do?
That's fair.
As it turns out, wolfsbane is in fact poisonous.
Okay. We won't make tea of it.
No, don't do that.
Nobody eat their hat.
Don't eat the flower crown. I know we're starving, but it's not worth it.
Damn it, Yuri! Go back! Not even supposed to be here.
Don't you have a town to mayor?
Don't you have paintings to insane?
Ceilings to sit on. I'm sorry, you have to go to the office.
Especially now that it's awkward and Chava is a little antsy to get on the road, she will take out her flute and kind of begin and play through the most beautiful dirge she knows.
Sure.
Something kind of Celtic and bittersweet, but
flute.
Yes. It's the saddest instrument she has. But just kind of command the room. Sometimes it's best to feel it as much as you can. And she will play this out. And then she will go to Jolina and Frontash and tell them they are to be extra useful now and to keep on their bracelets and crowns. And then stand awkwardly by the front door until everyone else is ready to leave.
As
Chava's heels ready to go.
Sassy is like next to Chava in a second. She's like, well, this has been real nice, y'all.
Even as she starts to play like our ending theme, our end credits theme, we're like, all right, let's go. Just so
this has been great.
Lay us off, Chava.
We're going. Oh, it's lovely tea. Bye.
Oh, it's just the windage of
I
the
made
barley.
it.
It's pretty common.
Don't be rude.
Okay. The kids will kind of nod at you guys and start playing again. The father's kind of just staring dead-eyed into the fire. And Maria will kind of get up, brush her hands off, and start to walk with you guys outside. And then kind of follow you to, like, the edge of the property kind of thing. And she'll kind of look behind her and say, those walls do nothing but keep monsters in. The cities are no safer than out here. Be careful. And she'll kind of scuttle back to the house.
Can I press 2 coins into her hands?
Sure.
It's kind of like comfort, and then just kind of leave them there and say, be well, mother.
Thank you. You want to give her any child shoes while you're at it?
Would you like some?
You know
it
what?
seems yours were too large, but maybe they'll grow back into... They won't. That's not how... You know what?
No, but she will take your coins, thankfully, and kind of put her hand on top of yours, and scuttle back to the house.
Barry's gonna.
Did anyone else think that was weird, or is this just par for the course in this place?
I don't know. That was entirely weird. Because that was in a house.
Yeah, like.
Is that how being in houses always is? Because if so, I think I actually hate houses now.
No, Ank, I don't think it's supposed to be like that at all. That felt like a particularly special brand of weird, even for this place.
It was a weird house. Barry's
column
gonna.
A. Do a bit of column B.
Barry would like to walk up next to Chava and be like, so, Did you? I don't remember catching it, but like, why do you have so many small shoes?
Oh,
Are you a shoe gnome?
no,
Are you a cobbler for
no,
gnomes?
I am not. Though there was a cobbler in Skald who I bought the shoes from.
Oh.
I was trying to collect information from the shanty towns, and they did not have much, so I bought them small supplies and gifts that would be more lasting to get information and help them. I had to leave town very quickly, however, so I am left over with this inventory.
This is Barry's
You'll never
human
know
reaction.
No,
To, like,
no.
hug Chava.
Yes.
You're so precious and lovely.
Thank you. It pays to be kind to all.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being weird. Okay, but you're a good person.
Gretty will tap her staff on the ground and be like, "Come on, we're burning daylight. Well, I get out of this weird place."
Very.
Yeah, I definitely want to put this place behind us.
As you say, grandmother.
Away at 2 miles an hour.
You've come to a river. Would you like to ford it?
I feel like he shouts Gary away, and then he's just like riding on it, and then you just see the rest of us walk past him, like, rest in the house.
Also, Barry died of dysentery. Dysentery? Dysentery?
Dysentery.
Dysentery.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love organ.
I will briefly clarify that what the woman was likely talking about is I was in Skald, and I was in a town when I first saw the bad dogs. There are monsters within the walls of these towns. I don't think she's that weird or crazy.
Okay.
And you have also encountered trouble within town, so...
Yeah, I mean, I'd buy that. We met an alien plant monster thing in the middle of town, so, you know.
I feel that's still exceptional, but yes, I still, like, the lesson remains.
Hey, listen, that was our first impression of this place, so...
And we killed it.
We don't know what's normal here.
We can only go up from there.
Okay.
Once you hit rock bottom.
You guys
Plant bottom.
head back onto the road, and you're walking for another 2 or 3 hours before it starts to get suitably dark enough for camp. Can I get a watch order, please? You only need to set 4 watches. If you set 5, everyone just gets slightly longer rest.
Do we encounter any more wolfsbane along the road?
Make a survival check, please. Everyone can do that.
Oh boy, yeah.
I will do that.
Super good at that.
Barry's gonna always be looking for more of these now. Well,
No, I got the 7.
No, nope.
17.
17.
9.
9.
Sassy,
There.
you find some more. The ranger, of course, finds some more
Yeah,
wolfsbane.
as is appropriate.
why did the wolfsbane enthusiast get a 2? 2!
Okay. Wolfsbane is made. Watch order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just gather up a handful again or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will gather all the wolfsbane we find and just like stuff it in people's pockets. Just like, here, have this.
Make one for Gary.
I have a
Gary,
question.
Because
please.
Gary's got some, Noodle's got a little flower crown now.
It's just one.
Barry's trying to negotiate
As
with
a hat.
for Neffy to have the flower, and she's just flower. You
I
need it
will-
to be safe.
I will take first watch.
I'll take second watch.
Granny will take 3rd.
4th then.
Sassy.
And Barry will have a lion. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Okie doke.
I will gently play everyone off to sleep with a song that reminds everyone of their respective home somehow.
I'd rather you didn't.
It's a Feywild trick.
Okay. Can I get perception checks from everyone, please?
In order.
Yeah.
20.
I got the 9. So first watch is a 9.
Okay.
I got a nat 20, so that's 26.
Oh,
So.
nat 20. Okay.
That's
17.
a good 20.
I see everything. I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
And Ank.
That die is banished for the evening. I got a 5.
Okay.
I got a 13.
Okay.
Or was I having a lion?
I thought you were just sleeping through the night, no?
Well, I made that as a joke, but I can sleep.
It's up to you. There's
I'll
enough
give that to
launches.
Neffy, then.
Okay.
I'll give that roll to Neffy. What's her perception?
Okay.
It's still 13.
Okay.
Just in case.
Hank is distracted because Noodle keeps trying to bite his flower crown off the top of his own head.
Aww.
I just imagine it's one flower, and then you kind of tie the stem around his.
And he's still trying to like bite it, like.
Yes.
Okay.
Flying in circles.
This is a question for Marty.
Yes.
On Mira
Hey there.
do they have guns?
Short answer, yes.
Okay. Chava, even with your 9, you hear what you would associate with a blunderbuss shot from out in the woods.
Is there a fucking hippo in the woods?
There's no GIF, no.
Alright.
It's pronounced
Keeping
Jif.
my eye on you.
So, you know what?
Yeah.
It's pronounced
Super
giraffe.
not.
Well, probably still do not have a ton of experience with them, but the sound is awfully... Does it sound as if it's coming from miles away or fairly close?
It's a little hard it's pretty echoey, but it could, and it's very quiet, so it could be miles away. You didn't get a good enough check to kind of pinpoint it. You just hear it.
Okay. I will make note of it, and Sassy, you are the next watch.
Yes.
I will inform her that there might be hunters with exceptional weaponry out in the woods.
Are you going to explain that it explodes?
I don't quite know how to do that.
Like it goes bang, and she's like,
It will sound like thunder.
It's like a crossbow, but a lot louder.
Yes.
And worse.
I'll
And
keep
not like
an
a
eye
crossbow.
out.
Takes longer to load, too. Okay.
Yeah, why do we have guns? They're a bit shit.
Sassy.
Okay.
Yeah. This weather is shit. That's about it.
Really? With my 26, I get nothing. Fine.
But you get to know you heard nothing.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm very sure.
That's peace of mind.
Think about that. You wake up Granny. Granny, again, nothing notable on your watch. Ank.
It's adorable, that is all.
And Neffy notices nothing either.
Cool. Useless fucking cat.
Nothing happened other than the first hour.
I'm kidding.
That's that. What would you guys like to do in the morning?
Cool.
Check the traps.
You check the traps, and again, there are no small woodland creatures to be caught. I know. Gonna have to
This is
start
the
Gritty is
worst
gonna-
forest ever, guys.
beans or something.
Gritty is gonna find a little rock up to herself, and she's gonna pull out the sword,
Okay.
and she's gonna be like, "Look, you've been whispering things into my mind for several days now, and I do not take kindly to it. Especially because you're talking crazy things that could never be possible. And I just need you to shut up until we can find a way to get rid of you."
Granny,
Deal.
you good?
No!
Oh, okay.
The sword will rasp back to you.
Good lord.
Oh,
It
God.
will say, all of it's true. Why would you want to be rid of me? I can do so much. Take
Sassy, that
me home.
yeah, now you're just sounding like a broken record. You need to shut up.
So,
You need to
Sassy,
shut up. Fine.
Good.
You know what?
Thank goodness.
the first thing that Sassy would have done in the morning is like go out and for food for everybody because that's the thing that we do, where
It
I can
is.
find enough to feed everybody. Would I have been privy to any of the noises of this this conversation happening?
Only Granny can hear the sword.
Okay, but her yelling.
You probably heard when she started to yell for it to shut up.
So at that point, I'd like to come over and sort of poke my head around to where she's at and be like, "Granny, are you okay?
No.
Do I see you holding the sword?"
It's like, remember what I told you, that this sword was talking to me, right?
Yeah. What are you doing with it out? We learned that was bad news bears. What are you doing?
I'm telling it to buzz off because
Is
it's been whispering these little things in my head ever since we got it, and I'm sick of it.
What has it been saying?
Impossible things that I would never let. It keeps telling me to take it home. I'm like, I will throw this thing in a lake before I take it to wherever it came from.
We gotta find something to do with it. We can't just keep carrying this around if it's gonna put you in a state like this.
What if we leave it here?
Well, then someone else is going to find it.
And
Look, even if I was okay with just leaving it for some poor soul to stumble upon it, I particularly don't want to leave it somewhere and then just walk away from it where whoever does pick it up would probably be in walking distance of us.
Ooh. I have an idea. I have a good me next.
it's like
Me?
the town again.
Right
You're
there.
right about the town.
Right. So the sword, right? Being
Mhm.
mean and it talk and is like, and you go nuts.
Oh, I've already been nuts even before the sword.
But do you feel like the sword, the longer you have it, the more nuts you're getting?
No, it just keeps talking.
So, is it talking to you even when you're not holding it?
Yeah, like it's been on my back for this entire time, and
What if
That's
I
pretty bad.
carry
That's
it?
not a good thing. That's a bad. Yes, Hank.
What if you put it in the bag?
I'm pretty sure it would still keep talking to me, especially since I'm holding the bag.
I forgot we had a bag of holding.
Do you think it might get easier if we take turns holding it
That's what I was gonna say.
to at least bear the burden?
Well, we can try. She'll hold up the sword for anyone else to take
I
it.
got it.
Oh God.
That sounds dangerous.
I'll be careful with that.
Waving it around.
Do you talk
Well,
to me?
this
Do you like me, son?
well, this is going on.
Chava's leaving.
I would. I know.
Talking
what?
swords, no.
Yeah.
These
I'm
people
not
are
swords
nuts.
always a problem. I'm not dealing with it right now. I'm out.
I would like to cast message
Okay.
to the sword.
Whoa.
Let me look up how
Are you
message.
sure
Yeah.
you want to do that?
I have a private chat with the sword.
Clever.
I'm
A one-on-one.
I'm curious how sapient this blade is.
And you're casting
Or-
message or sending?
Message.
Okay.
I don't have sending.
God, there are a lot of M spells. Okay. There we go. Okay, I like it, so I'm gonna let you do it.
Okay. Nice.
Perfect.
The golden rule. Okay, so I will message it as Black Wool, tool formerly of Lady Shadowborn. Can you hear me? You may respond to this message.
But only this message.
Yes.
A raspy voice that you would equate to kind of nails on chalkboard responds, yes.
Okie doke.
Goodbye.
Are you going to ghost the sword now? Rude.
It's a cantrip. I will message it again and ask it what it wants, just to hear it for myself.
Are you going to give it permission to reply to that one?
You may respond to this message. Which, all credit where it's due, is stolen, by the way. That's a Sam Riegel original, and I do love
And
it.
if you don't know that, then why are you here?
The sword will say, the grandmother won't listen. Take me home.
Grandmother?
Where is home? You may respond to this. And I'll even add that Acrio spoke of other dread realms. Is it one of these?
Mm-hmm. He will say, yes. Though it is small. Shadowborn Manor. I may...
Stands to reason. Thank you for your time.
You can respond to...
No, not this one.
You hear her ask me, oh.
Yes, grandmother, that sword is absolutely speaking.
I told you.
Is
I
it
just-
evil?
I'm not as nuts as you people think I am.
Hey, I never doubted you.
Unless black woe means something else here, I'm pretty sure we can presume it's not great.
Wow.
It also comes from a place called Shadowborn Manor. Doesn't sound great. But hey, no judgment. This is a no judgment zone.
Wait, it told you Shadowborn Manor.
Yes. I asked it where home was.
All right, great. Now we need to go in the opposite direction.
I would agree with that.
Well,
It's not talking
Sounds
to me.
good.
Should it be talking to me?
It is not talking to you.
Is it still talking to
Is
me?
it still talking
It
to
is
anybody
still
else?
talking to Granny.
Great.
Okay, so
Granny is
likes me.
attuned to the sword.
yeah, it'll take about an hour.
Oh, no, you can't attune to it.
Oh,
Granny is
it's-
attuned to this sword.
Gotcha.
so
Now, the
she
sword
can't-
didn't attune to
she
her,
can't
right? This
unattune to
wasn't...
it?
No, she chose to attune to it.
Yeah,
She
yeah, okay.
She is cursed by this sword. She cannot choose to unattune to it.
Oh,
You need a
cool.
spell to
Great.
unattune from it.
I do not have
Great.
that spell, by the way.
Granny is going to give this sword the mind equivalent of the finger.
Why settle for that? Give it the literal equivalent.
Can Barry make another religion check to, I don't know, does religion cover curses? It's probably magic, actually.
Religion or Arcana. That's
Cool.
no, it's Arcana. It is Arcana.
That's cocked. Oh, that's better. Plus 1, so it goes 17. I just wanted to know if it was cast.
It's cursed.
If like Granny was cast.
Yes, you will
And-
need at bare minimum a remove curse spell. But
Do I think
this
that would
thing's
work?
also an artifact. You might need something a little more potent.
Cool. Granny's
Great to
gonna.
restore. Or...
Granny? Barry's gonna look at it and be like, "Yep, that's a cursed sword." And gives it back.
Granny will like put it back, kind of grumbling to herself, like, "Oh God, I'm stuck with this thing."
Yep.
The sword will say, "I'm not happy about it either. Take me home."
Has it said what it wants to do when it gets home?
No, and I don't particularly. Well,
Be a
Fine.
sword.
Maybe it's a nice cursed sword.
Stab things.
Not all swords.
But definitely this sword.
definitely the sword. Like, we literally had someone tell you this sword is bad.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
bad is a matter of perspective sometimes.
Maybe we can just teach it better ways.
Yeah. Maybe it doesn't know
We'll
better.
heal it with
Oh,
the power
guys.
of love.
Oh,
He just needs
have I got the cleric for you? Just wants this sword to make better decisions with its life.
Bad news, whatever you had planned, this is now the quest to redeem the sword. It is the sword's redemption arc.
We're gonna PBS Kids the sword.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
Now you know the power of sharing.
Sword must earn the power of friendship.
They do say friendship is magic.
Friendship is magic.
It's also witchcraft.
Well, grandmother, it needs you to get from place to place, so I pray that you are safe. If it starts to tell you to do dark things that you start to believe, please raise your hand or something and let us know.
You guys need a safe word or
Yeah.
something.
I may be able to briefly charm or enthrall your mind enough to stop you from killing us, but a heads up would be good.
Has it asked you to kill us?
No, I don't think that's what it wants. I mean, it's made it very clear what it wants.
Yes, it was very insistent.
Well, yeah, I mean, it hasn't been very helpful if it hasn't told us how to get what it wants. Not that we do it, but...
I mean,
Well-
I don't want the instruction manual.
Do you find the sword's posture threatening?
Yes.
It's a sword. It really only has one posture, and that's bladed.
I'd say a bladed posture is pretty threatening.
Yes, I agree.
Well,
It's probably
even if
evil.
we were to intend to do it, it says travel between the realms is apparently quite impossible at the moment. It should help us on this quest if it has any hope of returning home. And I say the last part louder, like the sword can hear me in any meaningful way.
Now, hang on a second. Because that's what we're trying to do, essentially, is travel through the plains to get back home.
Mm-hmm.
If this sword's trying to also travel, is it going to affect our ability to actually get through to our plane? Like, it's a magical artifact. Can it possibly mess with our trajectory? Or I don't know how magic works, but...
Now that you've said that in front of the DM, maybe.
I just
Rolls
write
metagame.
something.
Guys, you
Come
guys
on.
be creative. with evil things.
Keep talking, guys. This is great.
So, while Sassy was saying all of that, Barry was having like the math lady moment with the math and. Because math. Andy. To be 100 on you, Claire. There's no way of me communicating at all with my patron.
No. Not unless you are face to face.
How can I get face to face?
You need to leave the dread realms of Ravenloft.
Well, great.
We want to go home. The sword wants to go
Niffy, you
home.
got any ideas?
Well, let us continue our current mission, I think.
Great, a shrugging
That
cat.
is-
That's what I needed.
That is still... Let us handle what is in front of us and deal
So-
with this sword as it comes. Do I recall a cleric from Scald? I mean, I mostly hung out in a beer hall, but
There was a half-orc who seemed to not be from Kartakas, who was dressed very brightly in red and orange vestments.
I like him already. Sounds like a festive guy.
Who would come pretty much every night and get wasted.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, in the larger towns we may find better help. And its worst case, we can return to Father Broom, though with any luck, we're gone by that time. But, you know. Or we might meet him in Scald.
I miss Mr. Broom.
That's where he was going. So let us first take care of these catacombs.
Yeah, but catacomb with the dead thing. I smite undead because evil. Mm-hmm. Good plan. Undead away.
So as we start to move on, I would like to pull Ank aside, as well as I pull Noodle with me, and I look at both of them and I'm like, all right, I want y'all to keep an eye on Granny. If she starts behaving strangely, you need to let me know, because I don't want this sword to change her or affect her. So if we need to intervene somehow and do something to help her out, we need forewarning. So you guys both pay close attention, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I've got Noodle and Ank watching Granny.
And Barry is going burp, 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 to the catacombs.
Okay.
Marching.
That's day 1 down.
Mm-hmm.
God, that only took an hour.
Day 2.
Oh boy.
Day 2 passes pretty uneventfully. You see no signs of anyone kind of around the way you were going. And the woods are getting denser and denser. And you see in the distance a gorge. And you know that the catacombs are in that gorge. But unless you want to travel through the night, you won't get there until tomorrow morning.
Okay. No, better to have a fresh day of it, I think.
So I'm going to assume same watch order.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Can I get perception checks again, please?
Oh, shoot. Oh.
21.
Okay.
23. Or 22, sorry.
Oh, boy.
My lute is crazy out of tune. I really need to do a lot of work here. Wait. I got a 5.
Maybe Chava shouldn't take point.
This time I recognize the gunshot as I'm shot. That sounds familiar.
Oh,
Ow.
it was Colonel Mustard
16.
in this camp.
Standing right next to me, like, hello, cat, hello.
Okay.
I've been watching Full Metal Alchemist, so I thought you meant Colonel Mustang, and I was like, what? What kind of weird crossover is this?
Okay. Chava.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
Wonderful night for camping.
Your loot is still not in tune because of all this goddamn moisture.
Oh, come on, it's warping the neck.
This was custom. Sassy.
Mm-hmm.
Your watch goes by mostly uneventfully until right as you are about to wake up Granny, and you kind of have like a 5-minute overlap. The two of you hear twigs crunching, and you can see a dark figure shaped like a man kind of out past the reach of your campfire.
Should we just ask who goes there? Call him on it?
You do it. And she's gonna like put her hand on the hilt of a rapier.
Yeah, Zessy's also got
Or
she's gripping her her short swords and she calls out to the figure and she's like, "Who's out there? We see you."
And you hear a man's voice that you have heard once before when you first got here. Say, "My apologies. I did not realize friends were camping out here." And he'll kind of step to the edge of the camp light, the fire, and you would recognize him as Harkon, the guy who introduced you to all his friends and kind of sang songs and gave you s'mores. And he'll take off his hat and kind of bow deeply and say, "What are you doing so deep in these woods? It's not safe."
You know, we could ask the same thing of a mayor of a town who's apparently strolling around in the dark by himself.
He says, "Well, I take it upon myself to protect these realms from the terrible monsters." Terrible.
How brave and bold of you to do it all.
Don't do it for the glory.
I have a very hard time believing that.
He says, "Well, okay, hurtful, but it's true."
Was he carrying any kind of torch or anything?
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Well, you must have just the best darn eyesight in the world to be running around without any light out here.
I eat my carrots. Excellent night vision.
I was gonna make that joke. Asshole.
Just a regular rabbit, aren't you?
Did someone say rabbit?
Good morning, Hank.
Oh,
Can I try
We
casting?
have guests.
Yeah, is this all loud enough that it rouses any of us, or?
I would say Sassy's specifically talking loud enough that she's hoping it wakes people up.
Oh,
Sarah's
hark,
like-
a traveler!
She's not trying.
The three of you slowly start to rouse and kind of, bolt awake, and you see there's a darkly
By
handsome
slowly,
man.
you mean my eyes jolt open, lying with my back away from Harkon, like.
Barry's like tossing and turning in her blanket, like, "No, for a minute, no."
Neffy takes her claws and just straight on your face.
What? Oh, pretty boy. Hello.
I will compose myself. Kind of get up.
Ditto.
Meister Harkon. Excellent to see you again.
Hava,
Are
it's
you this guy?
been too long.
Much too long. Weeks at least.
Hava, you know this man?
Yes. This is Meister Singer Harkon Lukas, Mayor of Skald. We are quite acquainted. He welcomed me to the realm. An excellent musician in his own right.
He welcomed us to the realm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Peerless in the realm.
Some have said it, and it is true.
I have said it just now.
And humble, too.
Yes, I have not seen you since Skald. There was some scuffle, and I felt...
Terrible misunderstanding. Terrible.
Yes.
Monsters in our town. Awful. Just awful.
What kind of monsters?
Oh. Indescribable, really. He'll kind of point
We'll
at
try.
Ank,
Well,
and he'll say, "They look like your small green friend, but taller."
Oh.
Well, you know-
Or
Not orcs, no.
buggies, bugboos, buff boys, buff bugs, buff
Bugbears?
Bugbears!
They were not furry,
Got
no bugbears.
Oh.
well, surely with your keen eyesight, you picked up more details than that.
Well, we call them goblins, although I know as I am also from the Faerun, they were not similar to the goblins we had there.
Huh.
I would not say they are... I would say they are not unlike orcs, but more tall goblins. They have sort of the same proportions, scrunchy faces.
Are they maybe, like, from Tolkien lore? And that's why they're different? Don't mind me.
Well, my apologies, Lord, to leave without getting to say goodbye to you, of course, but I am a traveler and a musician. It was too much for my sensibilities.
Of course, a traveler at heart. I understand.
Mm.
I understand.
This is a very loaded conversation.
Yep.
Well, our camp is graced by the Meister Singer himself. Can we grant you hospitality? A song, perhaps?
Or maybe nap time.
Though I do not wish to interfere with your hunt, but...
Are you hunting?
For monsters, of course.
Huh? Sure.
But he says there's always time for a song.
No, hang on. We caught you sneaking in the woods in the middle of the night around our camp. And you expect us to just
Sneaking, or
Granny.
sit down and listen to your song.
Granny, wait. Maybe he could explain it for us.
A lord cannot sneak on his own lands, and owes us no explanation, of course.
And as he said,
And
he was
I'll
just
try to
hunting for
give as
monsters.
these loaded looks you're all worried about. I will toss them to all of you, like, right?
Naturally. I mean, he's just hunting to protect for his town.
I would like an insight check, please.
I don't like this.
On me or Harkon?
yeah, who you got?
Yes.
It works. Just,
Yes.
do I have to roll each, or?
If you were trying to read two different people, yes.
Cool.
They are different DCs. You know Chava much better than Harkon. And...
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a +1, so one of those is a 9, and one of those is a 10.
Okay. Chava is not being subtle. She is real easy to read on this. It's... No.
Sorry.
Follow my lead, probably.
Yeah, I am trying to placate this guy as effusively as possible to get him to leave here peaceably.
Oh!
And you don't have a very good read on Harkon. He seems to be telling the truth-ish. I mean, he's telling the truth as far as you can tell. You just don't have a good read on him.
It's just... What?
He doesn't seem to be
Alright.
lying.
Then I shall, I'm gonna make a fancy rose of a red kind and give it to him and be like, please excuse our impoliteness, we're very sleepy. Sing away, song time, please. Maybe sing to sleep.
Gertie will
Lullaby.
proceed, but she's eyeing this dude.
Oh, maybe I'll make tea. I'll go make tea.
You'll pull out a lyre and kind of start plucking at it. And, Chava, you remember this from the last time you hung out with this weirdo. And his songs always start very pleasant and upbeat and then get dour, like
Slowly.
like 6 bars in.
Yeah.
And he starts singing in a very, very fine singing voice.
Yeah, he's good.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain. Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? Did you exchange a walk on a walk-on part in the war for a lead role in a cage.
So Barry's
Glorious.
gonna bring over like a cup of warm liquid with leafy stuff in it.
Okay.
Well, that's a
For
real lovely
Harkon.
song. Where'd you learn that one?
Oh. You know, I don't know. Just stuck with me.
Picked it up somewhere.
Mm.
The Bard's Lament.
Does Harkon accept my tea?
Harkon looks at your tea, sniffs it, and says, well, that's not very polite, dear.
What? But tea.
It's not
Tea?
tea.
It's tea.
In that you
It's
put
just
leaves in hot water, yes.
Well, the tasty leaves. I know these leaves.
She tried her best.
You're not very polite if you don't drink it, really.
I don't think that's how this works. In fact, I believe you are all my guests. And you're
We
not
didn't try
treating
to
your
be here.
host very politely. No.
I take a step away from Barry.
Well, I'm real sorry that you didn't like the tea. I know she's not always the best at everything she tries to do. Would you mind? I mean, is there anything else we can get you?
I can make magic make it taste better. Prestige of flavorful.
He will kind of take the cup from you and like, yes, and then throw it at you. Make a dex saving throw.
Oh shit. Yeah, no. 16.
Okay. You duck this guy like a maniac throwing a cup at you.
Dude,
And
that
he
was
kind
my
of
nice cup.
he kind of stands up and like kind of starts to like
Put myself back between him and Barry.
Yeah, I'm between him
Yeah,
and Barry
Sassy
too.
is also there.
Yeah, me too.
Barry's just like, oh, okay.
Avengers Assemble.
and he'll kind of turn away from you guys and he's like
People.
breathing very deeply and he kind of puts his hands out and turns around and he says, oh, I'm terribly sorry, that was terribly rude of me. I sometimes I don't know my own temper. I'm terribly sorry.
Did he break my nice teacup?
Nah, it kind of landed in a bush.
Dope. I'm getting the teacup.
You bear so many burdens, Lord. Of course, occasionally it is hard to keep sight of one's temperaments, especially when one is hunting monsters in the woods in the dead of night. Please forgive any improprieties. I am certain no offenses were meant.
Does Barry get the feeling this guy's evil?
With that insight check, I mean, he threw a mug at you. Take from that what he will.
And at least last session, his temper was mentioned and his possessiveness, and he's used to getting what he wants and stuff. So there's enough to kind of build an outline that he's certainly prone to jerkiness. I don't know that translates to evil.
And I'm sorry if I missed that. Do we know why he was unhappy with the tea? Did I miss?
It's hot leaf water.
It's hot leaf water.
Apparently just wasn't.
Okay, so there wasn't like okay.
Well,
Actually, there is a reason why he could have been mad at the tea.
yeah.
Well, I know. I just didn't know if you actually made the tea out of that or not.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Oh,
She
God.
just didn't say
I
that,
couldn't.
but-
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you said it or not. That's why I was like, you
No,
know
I
why he
thought
just
people
flipped
were
his
gonna be
shit.
mad at me.
Like I'm pretty sure I know why
Well-
he flipped his shit, but
doing something and not saying what you're doing because you think people will be mad at you is just going to make people mad at you.
That's fair.
It,
But do not let us keep you, Meister Singer. I wouldn't want to impede your important mission this day. And we have to return to sleep. We have a long journey ahead of us tomorrow.
Where are you going?
To Scald, ultimately.
Scald is that way. And you were last in Melody, were you not? This is very far off the beaten path.
No, nothing escapes your gaze, Lord. It is true. We are perhaps a little lost, embarrassingly so, but as you well know, there are many more tales in the longer way traveled.
I suppose that is true. But if you perhaps need an escort back to Scald, I'd be more than happy to make sure you reach the city safely.
Do not trouble
yourself.
yourself.
Want to impede on your important duties.
Time is far too valuable.
Ooh. Do you think you will slow me down? You are able-bodied young people. You'll kind of look at Granny. And your grandmother.
Yeah.
Your eyesight's great.
There's like counts on her fingers, like.
Oh, great. Granny will pipe up and be like, well, don't. I would actually feel much better if you were to continue your duties of protecting us by hunting in the forest.
Perhaps the greatest favor you can do.
Especially if you've had trouble with monsters in that town. I mean, there needs to be a Scald for us to get to.
Perhaps there is wisdom in this, Lord.
Well, okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Yes!
Which of us?
Either of you. You're tag teaming this.
I got a pretty good persuasion, if y'all don't mind. I'm a social tank. It's all I'm good at. Well, two of the same number is never terribly helpful, but it's still a 22.
That's what I got too.
Hey!
By sort of appealing to his pride and ego, he kind of nods. And he says, well, what I do is important.
Gritty will nod enthusiastically from behind Chava.
He will say, well, I will expect you all in Scald shortly then.
Of course.
And he'll kind of,
I anticipate our reunion.
Look at all of you and say, thank you so much for your hospitality. And he'll get up, gather his things, and kind of head back into the woods and start playing a song on his lyre that, again, starts very jaunty and then just kind of gets very dirgy.
As soon as he is, like, out of eyesight and I can't hear him anymore, Granny is going to just, like, start, like raging a little bit. Like, she's been holding a temper in this entire time, and she's just letting it out. She's not making any noise, like, it's very silent, but she's
I was going to tell you, keep it down. But yeah,
she's raging.
Still appropriate, but yeah, just...
What a freaking prick!
Shout into a paper bag.
If I could literally glare daggers, or catch things on fire...
Granny, rasped in your ear, the sword will say, what an asshole, am I right?
I'm not listening to you!
Fine, I thought we found some common ground.
Our friendship, Granny!
As soon as I hear Granny say that, I am just going to turn and look at her and say, shut up, sword!
What the goblin said. Alright, Granny's gonna go off and sulk on her watch.
Okay.
Barry's gonna pout that her thing didn't work.
She'll also go over to Barry and make sure she's okay. She did have a cup thrown at her.
I'm okay. I dodged my cup, and my cup isn't broken, which is very good because it was a good cup. Although,
Barry, what on earth possessed you to put that in his tea?
he seemed like a bad, and I don't like bads. I like to kill the bad. Killing bads is good, right?
I mean, yeah, when you're prepared for it, all of us half asleep is not exactly the best opportunity.
I had an idea. Maybe it wasn't great.
You've got to understand that this place is not safe for us. And you've been making a lot of decisions lately that are just a bit too in the reckless category for my comfort.
I'm sorry. I just want to help, and I feel like I'm not helping.
Man is lord of this realm and a proper lunatic.
No.
Step easily around him.
I'm
And
sorry.
just tell him he's the greatest and ask him to leave at the earliest, politest opportunity.
Gertie will pat her on the shoulder. Be like, if we get a chance to dispose of him properly, when the opportunity is right, then we'll do so. Together.
Thank you, Granny.
But it seems like right now we're just going to have to kiss his tush. To avoid having teacups thrown at us.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to
Have a
either.
nice tush, though.
But I
No,
don't
just-
want to die.
Just ask him to sing. It's like throwing a stick to a dog. It will work every time.
Well, that's a loaded description.
Would you like to sing, Meister Singer? Would you like to sing? Huh?
Or like, what about like a big glowy orb thing to a giant kitty cat?
Yeah, I think I've had that dream.
Yeah.
Sounds
You were
really
there, and
familiar.
you were there, and
I'm
yeah.
going to
You were
miss you
there.
most of all, Tiefling.
You
I'm
were
going
there.
back to bed.
Night night.
The rest of the night passes uneventfully, and you continue to not find any small creatures in your traps.
Okay. I also probably didn't sleep after that. I'm kind of mad now.
I'm so mad.
So mad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just go off and like stew with Granny.
Are we getting up now? Is that what we're doing? I want to start with whatever ranger abilities I can use to do it. I'd like to start like trying to cover our tracks so that maybe it's not super obvious which way we've been going and where.
Okay.
Barry's
So
gonna
like
offer.
sort of remove evidence of our trail.
Barry's gonna offer any assistance to Sassy with that, and also help try and gather food with your
Okay.
guidance.
Make a survival check with advantage.
Which ones of us? Because that's a thing I can do too.
As many people as would like to help Sassy.
Oh no.
You're not high enough level to have passed without a trace yet, right?
Sassy?
I
I don't think
don't.
so.
Yeah, I don't think I have that yet. I have.
I don't think you have second level spells yet.
Do druids get to learn that? Does Granny have it?
I have what?
Do you have pass without a
Pass
trace?
without a trace?
I do not.
Okay.
I think that's a higher spell.
Okay.
No,
It's a 19.
No, I can always remember the layout of the region features, and I can usually find enough food and water for 6 people. But I can't necessarily automatically remove it. But I got 24 for my roll for my survival check.
Between the efforts of everyone involved, you guys successfully, you feel, start to hide your tracks. So it kind of looks like, you know, a group of adventurers traveled for 2 days, made camp, and then just disappeared.
Awesome.
subtle.
So you head into the gorge. And as you do, can I get perception checks, please?
Sorry, what?
Just round robin.
As a 12.
17.
15.
Okay.
I am on high alert since Harkon showed back up. I got a 22.
Okay.
Nice.
19.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Hank too.
Yeah. Granny and Chava. The three of you, you start to hear movement, and it's very creaky. I think all of you have played the Elder Scrolls games. It sounds like skeletons.
Sure.
Oh, good.
And you kind of see in the middle of the gorge is a 30-foot tall rib cage with a human skull on top, appropriately sized, and
Okay, not to scale.
I'm sorry, it is to scale.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Sorry. And the kind of bored into the ground around it is a staircase going down, like in the rib cage. And you see just a field of skeletons in front of the rib cage between you guys and presumably the catacombs of Cartacus.
I think we've seen this painting.
Oh. Do you
Okay.
think...
New-
Wait. Do you think Yuri is like actually the really powerful one and he runs this place and like his paintings are becoming manifestations in real life?
No.
Yeah, after last night.
Okay, I'm looking too hard into
market.
it. Good to know.
I think we all just run around these woods and take a quick 3-level dip in cleric and come back.
I'm a cleric. Kinda.
Are you?
Yeah. I
Okay.
cast Sacred Flame on nothing important to be like, look, cleric.
Perfect. Your natural enemy awaits.
Go.
Push them all away from us.
I'm gonna Sacred Flame. And I'm just gonna keep casting Sacred Flames and walking forward.
That's where we will end for tonight.
Okay.
Lovely.
So, plugs and outros. Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay Rashu. Jay Rashu on Twitter is the easiest place to find me. I swear I'll start making things again one day. We're all here, and this is actually all for the Dice Camera Zine. So that is at Dice Camera Zine, I believe, on Twitter. Can't wait for you guys to see it. It's got some really cool stuff going in it. So.
Oh, so good.
Zom.
Hi, I'm Zom. You can find me everywhere online at Zombalog. And I have a website where you can find examples of all my writing and links to the full stories at zombarber.com. So please go check any of it out. Any of it.
Mira.
Hi, I'm Mira. I am at Nerds and Birds on Instagram, at Birds and Nerds on Twitter. I'm finally back to working on and posting art. So look for more of that in the future.
Yay!
Marty.
Yeah, I'm Marty. Again, thank you all for having me. I remain a guest, and perhaps remain a guest still. But join us again in like 10 or 15 minutes, where we will be going on a separate adventure, where a couple of us will be playing different characters.
So yeah, if you want to see me play someone very different from Ankle Biter,
See you in 10.
And
Okay.
Holly.
Hi, I am the creator and inventor and the CEO of a company producing pig milk now on.
Sounds gross.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. All the best.
I mean,
I mean,
like,
that's what
if
people
you,
said about goat's milk.
yeah, like
And
if
almond
you
milk.
like think about it and you think that's gross, like, isn't all milk really gross? You know?
Actually, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I do art, maybe.
Okay.
Holly Hemlock on Twitter. And art happens, but not normally. Sometimes memes, mostly memes. Probably a lot of memes. Memes are good. They keep the depression at bay. Pig milk, it's coming.
I'm Andy Hatton, at Andy Hatton on Twitter, twitch.tv/godofroads, youtube.com/godofroads. Follow the Dice Camera Zine at Dice Camera Zine on Twitter.
Please.
More news on that soon, probably. I'll be back here in like 6 minutes to run some more D&D. Please join me then. But wait.
Wait.
Uzi,
Wrong stream.
What about Uzi?
Get out of here, Uzi.
Autumn's back on the boat.
Oh no, I missed her. See everyone in a couple minutes.